Hi Meow,
Meow.
and welcome back to our channel.
I'm Electro.
I'm Shift.
And we are.
Shifter Art.
And in today's video,
We are doing a fusion character of a snake, a mermaid, a shark, and whatever else has 4 arms.
yeah.
While I was drawing this, it was straight after mermaid, and Electro was kind of like, do a mermaid. I'm like, no, I'm gonna do it after mermaid because I'm individual.
I was like, Mad June, it sounds more interesting to me.
So I think it was like on the 3rd of June or something.
Yeah.
I was just like sketching in my book, and then I wanted to do a snake face for some reason. I was just like, snake face is awesome. So I sketched it, and then I was like, I want to do like a cobra thing, but it's not attached to exactly the back. It's only attached to the front of the head, and it goes up kind of like a big toilet seat. I don't know. So anyway, I
Did that.
did that, and then I'm like, I don't have to do legs if I do a mermaid. I don't have to do legs if I do a snake. So I decided I'll do a snake, and then I'm like, well, you know, a mermaid snake hybrid
Yep.
pelvis area.
Yep.
And then I was like, how many arms do you give a snake, mermaid, shark? And then I was like, well, 4. Let's make it centipedal, you know.
Just whatever.
Meh.
So it's just a mishmash of different things. Just like, let's do this.
I just wanted to do something completely crazy, something completely out of the box, and something very different to just a basic human, because I was just sick of doing humans. I went back from doing something crazy to doing Alanis Mulder, and I was just like, yeah, that was great. I could color his hair, he was pretty, good for you. But then I was just like, wacky.
Yeah, like you always are like that. Like I remember like the Ancient Devourer. You remember that one?
Yeah.
You were just like, oh my god, it's so much fun. I'm so overdrawn humans because they're so boring. Because it's like I always see humans everywhere. So I want to draw something I've never seen before.
Yeah, it's like, you know, if you live in the desert, you gotta go to somewhere that's green and go, wow, that's so different. And
That was like me when I came, like when I moved and everything was green. You're just like, oh my god, I hate the color. Everything's green all the time. I hate it. I'm like, oh my god, it's so pretty. All I'm used to is brown and like dirt.
so the original idea with the head that comes off the head, that is the weird shape thing, was I just wanted to make a snake with an alien head. That was the original concept. And I was like, why don't you do the cobra thing? That sounds like a really good idea. And then it ended up like a shark.
Yeah, like it looked like a shark's head.
Yeah, a shark's dome head thing. And I was like, I know for a fact that at the end of the snake tail, I want to do the asymmetrical fins that a shark has got.
Yeah.
And I wanted to put some of the dorsal fins, I think they're called, along the snake's tail, but I don't think I end up doing it because it just looked weird having it on a long body and just having a random dorsal fin.
Yeah, like because you had all this other stuff going on, it was just like it didn't look like it should be there.
And it covered up all the detail. Like where I wanted to put it, it's like a flat surface for some reason. And it completely covered up the end of the tail being there. So I
Yeah.
was like, can't do it.
Yes, and like also I was so like when I saw you drawing the hands, when you draw the webbing and stuff, I'm like, oh my god, you're drawing webbing hands. So like I've already just started to do some webbing on fingers. 'Cause, like fingers and hands by themselves are just such a nightmare. I'm like, why would you want to add extra things to them?
Well, originally when I drew the picture in June, I drew the full picture and I scanned it onto the computer, and I'm like, I think I've gotten better since then. So I was like, okay, let's redraw it. So I broke up every single piece and I drew it individually. So I got the head, I got some reference pictures of snakes, and I drew about 4 or 5 different snake heads. I found one that I liked, and then I drew the thing on the top of it that's weird. And then I was like, hands. Okay, I'm gonna draw an individual hand the size of a page, and then I just drew hands all day. So this thing actually took me 4 days to complete.
Yeah.
Because I literally went back and forth sketching small limbs bigger, and and then scanning them onto the computer.
Yeah, and you did like the thing that I used to do. You'd like draw one part and like, okay, that's really good, and then you'd go to like to the next page and draw the next part just so you wouldn't mess up the other one.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you're like Mod Podge it all together into one crazy picture. And I'm like, oh my god, I remember when I used to do that.
Yeah, and even like the snake, how it curves around and all that stuff. I was looking at a lot of snake pictures going, okay, how does it actually work with, is it foreshadowing? No.
I think
Perspective.
yeah.
Yeah. How does it work with, they get smaller as they go to their tail? Yes, but their tails are not the focus of every picture. People don't take pictures of a snake tail first. They take a picture of a snake from the head.
Yeah.
So the body gets dramatically smaller as it goes away. So I had to figure out what the proper proportions were of a snake winding, how it bent without looking like a square. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if it's like sitting there with the front part of it and then the side part of it's just off to the side on the ground, keeping itself balanced. I'm like, how does that work?
Yeah, you're like asking me, I'm like, me in perspective, we do not talk. I'm terrible at perspective. I'm like, I don't understand it myself. It's so weird.
Yeah, I've even seen with some other artists while I was looking at hands online. They'll do the perspective thing on the fingers and they'll do the pointer bigger than all the rest. And it will just get smaller and smaller as it goes away. I'm like, the hand's really not that small. You don't need to do perspective on the fingers to themselves because the perspective is of them is each other.
Yeah. I don't
So,
know. It's just weird to figure out, but then when you look at it, it looks right, and you're like, I don't get it.
And I also didn't want to do a pose that was taking away from all of the awesomeness that is the picture by doing a side profile or anything.
Yeah.
So, as well as, like, you know, when you do the perspective of hands to each other, it's like sometimes you do a really tiny hand and you're like, it looks good for perspective, but it looks ridiculous.
And also, the scales, you attempted drawing scales as well. Like, wow, you just went all out.
I made my own pattern for the scales completely. Like, I went on to, I liked the thing that was on the hand, and it was one scale. So I decided to bring that through the rest of the body, and I went to Psy, and I went and did one scale, 10 scales, and then copy and pasted them, made my own
pattern,
and then stuck it on top, and that took hours.
Yes, and like you did that way, and I was like, do it that way, because don't do it the way I did it for Phoebe, because I was there for like, you know, a whole day drawing scales, and I was like, I hate myself for doing this. Why did I do this?
Yeah, and I was worried about the fact that they wouldn't look like they were rounded around the person, creature. So I did this beveling technique that you taught me while I was coloring it.
Yes.
Now, the coloring process, we'll just touch on that, is I found this really, really cool snake that had all these different colors of yellow, orange, red, pink, all of that. And I just stuck it on there.
Threw them on there, like, yeah, you go there, you go there, you go there.
Yeah, like it was scaled. All of it had scales, then they were raised. And it was all kind of blending together, but I was like, what do I do? Just make it all those colors and do all the scales that color? Because not all the picture has scales.
Yeah.
And I'm like, do I do the underbelly a different color as well? And then I was just like, well, I'll just put the colors where they look nice instead of trying to figure out how to make it look exactly like that snake.
Yes, and yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, just put the colors where you like it and stuff like that, because you're just like, oh, I don't know what I should do, because if I put all the colors here, then if I don't know what colors to put here, I'm like, will they even look good?
Exactly.
And like, I was just like, just simplify, just use those colors. That's your palette. Use it on the whole picture and just keep it simple and easy. And wow, it looks so cool at the end. Like, I was like, I want it.
We also did, like, I was like doing the clicking and stuff, but you were like giving me a tutorial on backgrounds underneath water, and I was like, I believe it. He's on the bottom of the ocean. Like,
he's just chilling.
When I saved the picture as a thing, it's like, you know, I named it something like, you know, there's no fish left in the ocean because they just jumped off into land.
Bye, girl. Have fun by yourself.
But also, with the eyes, what I did was I looked up chameleon eyes again because I had previously done a dragon picture for you.
Yeah.
And with this one, I decided I'd do the exact same effect. So they basically look like they're electro currents running through the eyes.
Yeah, like plasma or something like that. It's just like a really cool texture.
Yeah, so what I did was I did the line of the black eye straight down. I wanted to do them curved, but then Valectro was like, if you do them curved, they always look silly and cross-eyed. So I did them straight down and then buckled them out a little bit in the center, and then did that an overlay with a stamp, and then I did them green because green is good only for eyes.
Yeah. And just look at him, he's like, he stared into my soul, like, hi.
Oh, I also switched from doing a black and white shading to doing a dodge and blur. Valectro's style is doing dodge and blur, and I just didn't really like it doing it myself because I feel like it brought too much saturation into some of the pictures, even though I'm a saturation person. But yeah, I used white on the eyes instead of dodge and blur because I felt like it gave it that really, really crisp
Shine.
Yeah,
Like, yeah.
gleaming thing.
Glass-like looking eyes, you know? Yeah, and it looks really cool. I like the effect of how it turned out. It's just like creepy.
I think that's it. Hope you like it.
Yes, and I loved how it turned out. You did an amazing job. It's so cool.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, guys, don't forget to.
Like and subscribe.
And we'll see you all in the next video.
Woo!
Bye, meow.
Bye now.